Assalamu alaikum viewers and welcome back to a new video from Science Wala. Viewers, living things are highly organized and structured. They follow an order or hierarchy that can be examined on a scale from highest to the lowest or lowest to the highest. At the highest scale is the biosphere, and at the lowest is the atom, because atom is the smallest unit. In this video, we are going to discuss and understand atom and its structure. First of all, what is atom? Atom is the smallest basic unit of chemical element. Atoms are the basic building blocks of all material or matter found in the universe. There are millions or billions of different kinds of atoms. Atoms of one type are called elements. For example, silver and gold are made of same kind of atoms, so they are elements. Molecules are combinations of atoms. So atoms are the basic building blocks of matter. When were atoms created? Atoms were created after the Big Bang 13.7 billion years ago. The earliest atoms were primarily hydrogen and helium. Big Bang theory says that the universe came into being with a great explosion and atoms were created. Before discussing the structure of atom, let us discuss the history of atoms. Over 2000 years ago, ancient Greek philosophers had this idea that everything was made of tiny particles. This idea was recorded as early as 5th century BC by Leucippus and Democritus. The Greeks called these tiny particles atomos, meaning indivisible, and the modern word atom is derived from this term. The concept of atom was revisited and elaborated upon by many scientists and philosophers, including Newton, Boole, Lavoisier. It wasn't until the 18th century, 1880, that we finally started using science to prove that these atoms really exist. The credit for this goes to John Dalton when he gave his atomic theory in 1803. He proposed that all matter is made of small particles called atoms, and these atoms look like billiard balls. How do we know about the structure of atom? Atoms are so small that we can't see the atom with our eyes, not even with powerful microscope. Now, scientists used models to explain how an atom might look like because it is invisible to the naked eye. The way scientists have depicted the atom throughout history has changed based on scientific research and discovery. This figure illustrates some of the major contributions to the current model of atom we understand today. These are four important milestones. First one was the Dalton's John Dalton. He gave in 1803 his theory, and he said that all matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. Next was Thomson, J. Thomson, in 1904. He discovered the positive and negative charges in the atom. Similarly, then came the Rutherford. Rutherford in 1911 discovered the nucleus with his experiments, that atom contains nucleus. Then came the Niels Bohr. He said that atom has a circular paths. We call them now orbits or energy levels. Then came the Schrödinger in 1926. He said that there are electron clouds inside the atom where electrons are found, or where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. Now, let us discuss the atomic structure or structure of atom. The structure of atom consists of two parts. In the center, you see here green dot. It is the nucleus. Since it is the nucleus of atom, we call it atomic nucleus. This is the first part. And outside this nucleus, everything in the atom is called extranucleus part. This is the extranucleus part. These are the two parts of the atom. Let us discuss the atomic nucleus first. The tiny central part of atom is called nucleus. It contains positively charged particles called protons and uncharged or neutral particles called neutrons. They have no charge, they are uncharged. Virtually, nucleus contains all mass of atom, or we can say all mass or atom weight. How much? 99.94%. But virtually none of atom's volume, but it occupies very less volume of the atom. Now, second part is extranuclear part. The part or region outside the nucleus is called extranuclear part or electron cloud. This is in the center. This is the nucleus. Nucleus contains positively charged particles called protons, denoted by P, positive, and neutrons denoted by N, symbol N. They are neutral. But outside this nucleus or electron clouds, the entire space that electrons occupy. And this electron cloud is arranged or subdivided into layers called orbits. This is the first orbit. This is second orbit. These orbits are also called electron shells or energy levels. Electron cloud contains virtually of all atoms' volume. It occupies much of the volume of the atom, but virtually none of atoms' mass or weight. And in these orbits are revolving negatively charged particles called electrons. There is another word, nucleons. The particles present in nucleus are called nucleons. Protons and neutrons are called nucleons. Now there is a question. Is atom divisible or indivisible? Atom was indivisible particle up till Dalton's theory, because there was a belief that atom cannot be further divided into smaller particles. But when J.J. Thomson discovered electron, he stated that atoms are divisible. So, after the discovery of new subatomic particles, electrons, protons, and neutrons, now we can say atom is divisible. Now, subatomic particles. Atom is made up of smaller particles called subatomic particles. The subatomic particles are electrons, protons, and neutrons. Electron, neutron, and protons. Generally, all atoms except hydrogen consists of three subatomic particles. Hydrogen is an exception because hydrogen is the first element of the periodic table. It contains only one electron and it contains only one proton and it contains no neutron. The smaller particles inside the atom are called subatomic particles and they are three number: protons, neutrons, and electrons. You can see here the chart in which three have been compared. Electron, it was discovered by J.J. Thomson. Proton, discovered by Ernest Rutherford. Neutron, discovered by James Chadwick. Electron is negatively charged particle. Proton is positively charged subatomic particle. Neutron is neutral and has no charge. It is also a subatomic particle. Now, before going ahead, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon and share this video among students so that they get benefit from this video. Now, let us compare the properties of these three subatomic particles. First one is proton, neutron, and electron. Proton is denoted by symbol P. Neutron is denoted by symbol N, and electron is denoted by symbol E. First of all, let us compare their mass. The actual mass of protein is 1.67 into 10 raised power 27 kilograms, and actual mass of neutron is 1.675 into 10 raised power minus 27 kilograms. This is the actual mass of the proton and neutron. But if we compare the two cancel each other, and the relative mass of the two is 1:1. This is the actual mass, this is the relative mass of proton and neutron. Now, let us compare the charge. Charge of electron is 1.602 into 10 raised power minus 19. This is a charge of electron, or we can say charge in coulombs. Coulomb is the unit. And the charge of proton is 1.60 into 10 raised power minus 19. You see, both have the same charge. This is the actual charge. But if we compare the two cancels each other and we get relative charge of proton is +1 and relative charge of electron is -1 because proton is positively charged while as electron is negatively charged. And here this is the mass of electron, and neutron has no charge but it has a mass. You see here that protons and electrons cancel each other because they have the same relative charge but opposite sign. Proton has positively charged and electron has negative charge. Here you can see all details here again. Now, so atom is electrically neutral because electron has -1 unit charge and proton has +1 unit charge. If the number of electrons in protons in atom are equal, atom is electrically neutral because the two charges cancel each other and we get the result 0 and the charge is balanced. So atom is electrically neutral if the number of protons and electrons are equal in number, but if they are not equal in number, then it is not neutral. Now let us see the size of atom and size of nucleus. How much smaller an atom is, or how much smaller is nucleus as compared to atom. The nucleus is very small compared to the atom as a whole. You see in the center is a small dot. It is the nucleus. As compared to atom, it is very small. We can compare it with this image. This is the image of a football stadium. If the football stadium represents the atom, it represents the atom. And the small dot in the center of the football stadium represents the nucleus of an atom. You can easily understand how small is nucleus as compared to the atom. Atom is itself smaller, but as compared to atom, nucleus is much smaller than the atom. The size of an individual atom is around 0.1 nanometers or 1 into 10 raised power minus 10 meters. This is the size of an atom. And the size of nucleus itself is only raised power minus 14 meters. About 1 by 1 10 100 1,000th of radius of the atom. Now students, you see electrons are present in the orbits or energy shells. Now, how many electrons are present in each shell? Each shell has maximum number of electrons that it can hold. Electrons will fill the shells nearest the nucleus first. First of all, the shell or the orbit or energy level close to the nucleus contains only 2 electrons. The first shell, which is closest to the nucleus, holds maximum of 2 electrons. Maximum. The second shell holds maximum of 8 electrons. The third shell holds a maximum of 18 electrons. There is a formula for it. If you have to find the number of electrons in each shell, you use the formula 2n square, where n represents the shell. If it is first shell, you can find it 2 into 1 square that is equal to 2 into 2. Similarly, in the second shell, you can apply the 2 here, in the third shell 3, then 4, and you can easily find the number of electrons in each shell. Remember, 2n square is the formula, where the n represents the shell. I hope it's clear to you. Now students, before concluding this video, what we have learned, if we briefly say structure of atom is made of two parts: nucleus, which contains protons and neutrons, protons positively charged, neutrons neutral charges, and there are circular paths, and we call them energy levels, orbits, or electron shells, in which electrons are revolving. Students, test yourself and try to solve this question. Similarly, try this. Finally, students, please, if you liked my video, please share it and subscribe it. Till the next video, Assalamu alaikum.